All right. So here we go. We are streaming live on YouTube. But here's the deal. I've been thinking about this and I've been really struggling a little bit. And I'm going to throw it on Facebook too, so maybe I can get some reaction. You got us? All right. Jaden's on the other side. He's watching us. If you guys get any audio problems, throw up a comment on YouTube. Um, Jaden's listening to you over there on the other side. We're jumping on Facebook Live as well. We're just going to try to get it all, I don't know, all going at one time. Here's the deal. Things are changing quickly, rapidly, and I'm a little, well, I'm a little anxious. What'd you say, Jaden? Is it kind of quiet? Let me see if I can turn it up a little bit on our side. I don't know. Check that out. A little bit louder. Anyway, that's better. Cool. All right. I'm going to, there we go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump up here and start to rap with you guys and discuss, I guess, the state of what we're going to go through. I have no idea what you guys are actually dealing with out there. I know that we've stopped all NHL, NBA, NFL, like you name it, major things were gone a couple of days ago. And then a couple of hours ago, Governor Newsom, let's see if I can pull this up. There you go. You should be able to see this. Said all bars, wineries, brew pubs, and nightclubs should close. That seat over 65, with a few hours after Newsom suggested, blah blah blah. So does that mean we just gonna write it out? That could be interesting for a lot of us. Some of us have like the corporate jobs, and we're gonna be collecting those paychecks while we try to figure out what's next, how we're going to take care of our people. Some of you guys are out there at the assisted living places where you're like taking care of people that could be extremely concerned how this would spread, and you're trying to take care of your family at the same time. And then here we go, we've got people running around, going to the restaurants, going to the bars, and not anymore. I know that we're a pretty strong group and that there's a lot of stuff that we can overcome, if you will. But I don't know how many of you guys out there were set up for. Let me drop the volume on this because dog it. There we go. So I got both my channels on mute so I can actually talk so I don't hear myself over the 3 or 4 times. But my biggest concern was this. It's like we had a lot of different ideas of what we were going to do, right? We're going to talk about everybody should do to-go food, or everybody should be talking to their staff about cleaning, and that's the things that we should do to make it safe, and pass out pamphlets. But now, if we're closing the bars and we're doing all that stuff, what are we going to do through it? And I think I would love to hear from you about it. Like, what are you guys in your side of your restaurants? I had all these plans and notes, and then otherwise we're just going to winterize and ride it out. Well, some businesses are set up to do that. But if you're not, how are you going to overcome and react? I think that you're going to have to plan. You're going to have to you're going to have to sit down and say, okay, how much product can I put in the freezer? How much product can we hold? How long is it going to be before we open up? Is it 2 weeks? Is it a week? Is it 5 days? Some of you guys aren't as affected or it's not as aggressive of a cancellation in your area, except like in California where we're getting down. Like, let's see. Yeah, right there. There's our man. He's got Los Angeles is closing restaurant, nightclubs, entertainment venues, effective at midnight on Sunday until at least March 31st. And Illinois also shut down bars, restaurants through March 30th. And we got St. Patrick's Day rolling up. The Quaker Oats commercial. Hey, I get it. We need to be safe. But at the same time, how are we going to pay the bills? It's probably, we're in uncharted territory for me. You know, I know how to manage a business when we're running, or if it's slow, I know how to advertise, but we've never had to close. And I'm not talking about my business. I'm talking about us as I'm just talking about us in general. You know, I was at a restaurant and we were having brunch, and this was, just talking to people, and I'm thinking to myself, man, if this wasn't allowed, would these people be able to pay their bills? I don't know. And this is the industry that I've loved for a long time. You know, it's been tough for me because my whole life, not my whole life, but for the last 25 years or so, this is how I've paid my bills. And I know that a lot of you guys out there are feeling the pressure. So in the process of figuring it out, I think what we have to do is we have to stick together. And that's what ECO is all about. So if I know it might be a little grainy, I'm a little bit picking up on some bad audio. I've spent the last 3 hours trying to get this across both platforms. And Jaden and I did our best. I mean, how is it on your end, Jaden?
Sounds good.
All right.
The thing that we were trying to fix for 2 hours was a non-issue.
Yeah, I think what we were trying to fix was a non-issue. Always trying to be better than what we were. What I'd like to hear from you is like, what are you concerned about? What's bothering you? I mean, there's so many of us out there that live paycheck to paycheck. It's tough, right? And as we kind of push through this, I think the toughest part is that, like, there's no true words of advice except for hang in there. And then how does that pay your bills? It's tough. I've been thinking about this video since, Friday, when everything was kind of like unraveling a little bit. And I thought, man, if it gets in a little bit more crazier, it's going to be really hard for the people that own their business to make it through. And I'm not just talking about the restaurant. I mean, you got cleaners, you got Uber drivers, like, you lock everything down, nobody's going anywhere. That could make it difficult. I think what will be interesting is how we modify our business to see if we could do something, make more, make less. When I say make less, like lose less, I guess. I mean, like, you guys, you guys are feeling a lot more than I am to a certain extent, right? If you're owning a business, I mean, I'm going to manage the businesses that we have, but if we don't have hockey, we'll close down, we'll reevaluate, we'll do what we need to do. But for the groups that are living paycheck to paycheck, not knowing how they're going to pay that rent or that mortgage on that next house or on that business, it gets a little complicated. And, you know, it's all small businesses that need to kind of like figure out what's next. So for me, I was just wanting to throw it out there, see what you guys thought. I mean, maybe you flip it over and it's a quick service, and then all your servers are just delivering your product. But if all your schools are closed and everybody has to take care of the kids, it might be more difficult. I don't know. It's a little bit of a me trying to ask you guys what you think at the middle of the night on a Sunday where all of you are probably trying to really work on it. I don't know. It's not, it's, I want it to be fun. And I wanted to go through everything and say, hey, oh yeah, you know, this is going to be pretty cool. But after a couple of hours of dealing with audio and visual product problems, and I wanted to throw something up and say, hey, what are you guys doing? How are you figuring out what's your worries? How can we help? I think I'd like to put something up on our page and say, any ideas? What are you doing? Let's share them so others can learn. I know that some restaurants in our area, they closed every restaurant but one and said, okay, we're good. We're going to just worry on this one. And now with the new news, let's see, I can play it for you. The new news where we're going to close everything. That's not paid. That's in California and Illinois. It'll be interesting to see, like, is this just the beginning? Well, here's my deal. Every day as things come out, I think I'm going to post a little bit more live videos now that I finally got it figured out how to do it. And then we'll discuss what's happening, what you're doing, and make sure that, you know, if someone in Chicago has figured out a way to keep the wheels oiled and people are like coming through the business, or they've figured out a way to get rid of the product they have and they share it with me, I'm going to let you guys know how they're doing it. And, you know, Jaden and I will continually work on this so we can go over and share any of the questions and comments that you guys might have for us as we do these videos. We're going to start doing them on Facebook, and there I am on a little bit behind, but we'll start doing them on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And then if you say something and you want us to answer those questions, no problem, we got you. Until then, you know, I've seen people try to advertise their product and try to sell some of their product, but the last thing I want you to do is buy something that puts you in a different position than you actually need to be. What I want you to do is try to figure out how you're going to take care of your family and what we're going to do to protect our businesses and the people that work for us, because I know that I'm nobody without my team. And if my team's not taken care of, then I'm nobody. So I hope you guys feel the same way. I'm a little tired. I'm a little concerned. I got my man Edgar just jumped on. What's up, Edgar? Good to see you. He's a phenomenal chef. Just throwing that out to you. I don't know what he's got going on. Last time I saw him, he was in Dallas. He's probably working on some really cool stuff. But, like, I think there's a lot of companies that are losing lots and lots of money that's come this way. Is it a quarter one situation, quarter two situation? I think we don't really have the answers. That's the tough part. But I think if we don't start to communicate, and we can use ECO's website or ECO's Facebook page or whatever you want to call it, Facebook would probably be best, right off this video because it's going to be up there, and start to comment to each other like, hey, we closed down, but yet we're still doing food to go and we utilize the servers. I've heard a lot of people say that Uber Eats and Postmates and all that stuff's great, but they were getting hosed on some of the percentages. That can be really difficult, those percentages eating up every little bottom line. So, I mean, is it something that you can do to utilize your staff to deliver it and send out to your email list or whatever you might want to call it, and say, hey, you guys, if you want to pick up food, you can do that. And, offer a discount. As long as the machine's still running a little bit, maybe it helps. And as long as I can be someone that allows you to have a platform to talk to other people, not just on Facebook. There's a lot of people are saying support small businesses. The last 3 nights I've been eating out at small businesses or grabbing food to go because I think it's the way to go. But if they don't let you leave the house, or they don't let you go to restaurants, or telling you to close, it's going to be real hard, guys. It's going to be real hard for everybody to get those bills paid. And, man, I kind of, I've been thinking about it, and I don't really have the answers. I don't really have what we should be doing for sure. But I wanted us to have some sort of open discussion about it. And we were going to do this conversation a couple hours ago, but we finally got everything working. If you have any questions, comments off this video, throw them up on the comments on either YouTube or Facebook, and then we'll jump back in there and we'll answer them, and we'll make it the topic for the next video. You can let me know if the audio sucks or if the video's lagging a little bit. Jaden and I would love to know what we need to do to make it better. And you know what? If the only thing I can say is you got to take care. If we don't take care of ourselves, who else will? This industry's hard enough, and I want Extreme Culinary Outfitters to be the brand that kind of binds us as in the hard times and the great times. And right now, I think we're going to face one of those moments where we have to buckle down the hatches. I've been through hurricanes, we've been through some major natural disasters, but like this might be a little bit different because it's affecting everybody across the country. It's not just one isolated area. It's not a Katrina. It's not a South Florida hurricane, which we've all been, especially in being a Florida boy, we've been really touched by hurricanes. And I'm not comparing this to a hurricane. What I'm just saying is that hurricane season, I'm gonna tell you what, hurricane starts to come. You run around and you board up everybody's houses, right? And you work together. You'll help your neighbors put up boards, and then you run across and you put boards and latch down things for people that might not be able to do it. And then you ride out the storm. And then there's a moment where the storm passes and you run out and see what the damage is, and the other half comes through. You ride that out. And then it's all said and done, and you're out of power. And you're out of power, but you have food and a generator, and you're trying to make it happen, and you feed your neighbors, and your neighbors come out, and everybody supports each other. And the one thing that I love about hurricane season, and now I know this is, I'm trying not to make light of what happened in Puerto Rico or Katrina or anything like that, but some of the hurricanes I've been through, growing up as a kid, and even when we were older and the kids were young, everybody took care of each other and asked if you needed something. If you needed gas for your generator and you're running low, your neighbor would give it to you so you could keep both your freezers running. So if you ran out of milk, or if you had extra milk, you would give it to your neighbor. And everybody kind of took care of each other. And they made sure that their neighbors were okay. And I've seen videos here recently where like people are fighting in Costco trying to get toilet paper, and there's no food on the shelves. It's kind of concerning, especially when food is our life. But as restaurant owners and things like that, and business owners, not just restaurants, but small business owners, what we got to do is we need to make sure that everybody is looking out for each other as best as possible. I mean, the hell else are we going to do? We've got a couple more weeks to go. Maybe longer. I don't know. All the kids are at the house. Hope everybody's safe. Hope you guys are safe. Hope everybody's feeling good. And, for God's sakes, look out for your fellow workers and people. Look out for your fellow humans. And as always, I'm Chef JoJo. And until next time, cheers. I had a shift drink a long time ago, but I put him down because I was just trying to make this work. So this is president? How do you say that, Jaden? Presidented? Maybe. We're working on it. Shift drink. We're live. We're asking what's next. What do you think's next? We'd love to hear from you. As always, take care of you.